I saw the 10-part HBO Ken Burns series on the war in Vietnam. And I was 12 when the war in Vietnam came to an end, and therefore my memories of it are pretty vague, pretty sketchy. But what struck me about it was the sense of betrayal that everybody felt, that you felt sympathy. I ended up feeling sympathy for everyone. I felt sympathy for the guys that were drafted, the guys that dodged the draft, the guys that escaped to Canada to avoid it, the guys that protested, the guys that didn't protest and felt that they'd done the right thing. You ended up feeling for everybody because everybody behaved in good faith, apart from the politicians who knew by the mid-1960s that it was a war that they couldn't win. And yet still they sent people to fight in this vanity project, really. And of course, significantly, it was the first war that America lost, and therefore the impact on that, and the sort of the seismic impact on that, on the confidence and on the psychology of the people involved, was enormous and lasting. And when the whole thing of "Make America Great Again," excuse me. My wife is appalled at me for buying this, but it is a prop.
Yeah.
But when that came along, and that whole kind of initiative and that craze, I felt that there was a link between then and now. I felt that there were people whose sense of betrayal, whose sense of pain, whose sense of feeling left behind was in a way being garnered, being harvested by that whole "Make America Great Again" Trump sort of campaign, and in many ways is still there. So the idea of a character began to emerge in my head, and I created this man, Jimmy Vandenberg, bit of a wild child.
Yeah.
And his cousin gets him a job working for Ford in Detroit, working for Ford Motor Company. And he sort of finds his niche there, and but he wants to prove himself. He feels he has something to prove, so he becomes a Marine, because to be a Marine is to be somebody. It's to be something, and it's, but the play tells the story of his account, of his time in Vietnam, of the friendship that he forms, and then how, as the years go by, he feels, in a sense, abandoned. He feels betrayed. He feels that his contribution is ignored and counts for nothing. Whereas people who didn't serve, who got out of it, who managed. And one of the things that struck me about the war in Vietnam, the series that Ken Burns did, was it was such a working man's war. If you were middle class, if you were going to college, you could find a way of getting out of it. President Trump had bone spurs, apparently, whatever the hell they are. But I mean, he's not the only one. George Bush Jr., Bill Clinton, they didn't go. They didn't serve. And I just felt that there was a story to be told that would link the past and the present, that would create a character who is in pain, who feels betrayed, and it seemed very current. We had planned. The original idea was that it was going to go on for the GM Fringe 2020, 45th anniversary of the end of Vietnam, 2020, a US election year. The timing was going to be great. We were going to go to Edinburgh, we were going to win Fringe first, and then, of course, as you know, the world ended. So what we are kind of like concerned about now, when I say we, I'm talking about me and the production company, Andy Pearce and Andy Jordan. Yeah. We're kind of thinking now, has it had its time? And we hope not. We hope that it hasn't. But obviously, I had to do quite a lot of revisions in the light of events that haven't done anything in Manchester for a while. So I just thought this was a great opportunity to premiere something in Manchester, and get out the old, address book of friends in Manchester so they can get them to come. We're going to take some soundings of the two performances we do here. We're going to take some feedback, and then the booking in Edinburgh still hasn't been cancelled yet. It's been held over from 2020 and I haven't cancelled it yet. We have to be realistic that the events that we are depicting, it may be a little bit time specific. What I'm hoping is that the narrative and the sort of the emotional content of the play is strong enough to sustain interest in it, beyond here. So we're just going to see. We're just going to enjoy the two performances here, and we're just going to see what people say. There's an awful lot of research involved in what it would be like to be a car worker in Michigan in the 60s, starting out as a teenager, what the working conditions would have been, the kind of job that he would do, and also, the political situation of around that time in Michigan and in Detroit, and subsequently, because Michigan was one of the part of the reason why I decided to set it there was, of course, Michigan was one of the swing states that voted for Obama in 2008 and 12, and then voted for Trump in 2016. You sort of think, well, what is the psychology of somebody that would change their vote in that way? And that, and the experience of watching this extraordinary series about the guys from Vietnam, and that sense of pain and betrayal, that's where the idea started to emerge. So it was a lot of work.